Now, I know there probably is quite a bit of videos about these two games getting remakes and them being compared since one of these games is getting a remake, but I just wanted to get my 2 cents out there and basically explain why Resident Evil 4 is getting a remake before Resident Evil Code Veronica, even though it's quite an obvious answer. But before we get into the video, guys, again, we are really close to 400 subs. I believe I've said this in like the past 2 or 3 videos, I believe. But again, I think we're 4 subs away now, though. I think we're a little closer from where we were before. But you guys hitting the subscribe button I'd be absolutely appreciated. I would love you guys eternally. And also be sure to leave a like on this video as well if you enjoy Resident Evil. And yeah, be sure to subscribe. It would mean a lot, trust me. But with that being said, let's get into the video. If I had the opportunity to ask someone a question who works at Capcom, specifically the Division 1 team who helps the main Resident Evil, or who develops the main Resident Evil games, is why Resident Evil 4 is getting a remake. Not including Code Veronica, just solely about the RE4 remake. Because Resident Evil 4 doesn't necessarily need a remake comparing it to Code Veronica. And before anyone says this is an RE4 slander video, you're wrong. Resident Evil 4 is not only my favorite entry in the series, but it's my favorite game of all time. Now, I really don't like doing this stuff, like comparing like games and characters and shit like that, but I guess we're gonna have to do it with these two. So let's get right into the comparison about these two games. Let me just point out this as well. I have not played Code Veronica yet, but from what I've seen about the reviews, it's either a game that you will love or hate. But then again, I could totally be wrong. Nonetheless, let's get into this topic. If there is one consistent flaw that people pointed out in Resident Evil 4, is the tank controls, especially to the new players. I believe RE4 was the last main entry RE game that had tank controls before RE5 released. On the newer consoles, the controls for Resident Evil 4 were modernized and the controls handled extremely well. Another thing people didn't really like about the game is the story being too cheesy and goofy, but I'm not going to get into that too much. But does this game need a remake as of right now? I mean, if we're in like 2025 or 2026, I would believe that it would get the remake, but having it right now, I mean, it is what it is. But no, I don't think it needs the remake as of right now, not for me at least. But again, I don't have a problem with it being remade. It's just I don't think it doesn't really need it just yet, if you guys know what I'm saying. But let's switch games and get into Resident Evil Code Veronica. Let's put the gameplay cameras side by side of both of these games, and you tell me which game needs the remake more than the other. It seems obvious that Code Veronica is the one. It's also the most requested remake that the fans want. But does that mean Code Veronica will ever get a remake? No. I believe in due time it will get a well-deserved remake when the time is right. I would even consider older games like Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil Outbreak Files 1 and 2, and I would also even consider another remake of Resident Evil 1. I would take those remakes before Resident Evil 4 remake. Again, this isn't a slander vid. You guys know why already. Also, but let me know what you guys think of Resident Evil Code Veronica as the game itself. I wouldn't mind hearing some small reviews from you guys in the comment section before I buy the game, but don't worry, I am eventually going to play it though, trust me. Now, time for the real question. Why is Resident Evil 4 remake happening before a Code Veronica remake? It's simple, guys. It's the money. Almost every single gaming company is heavily driven by money, and it's just facts that Resident Evil 4 remake will draw more money than a Code Veronica remake. And when the reveal trailer hits, people are gonna implode. Everyone will go crazy. Hell, even Resident Evil Village felt like a big ass Easter egg that RE4 remake is happening right before our very eyes. But Capcom has done this kind of money driven thing before with another RE game. Let me explain. Resident Evil 5 is their most sold RE game with, I believe, over 10 million or 12 million copies, and it hasn't even gotten as many ports as RE4, which is really impressive, even though some people don't like RE5 solely for abandoning the survival horror vibe and feeling that the old Resident Evil games have. Oh, and by the way, if you guys haven't played RE5 yet, for people that are watching this video, I would strongly advise you guys to play it though. But one of the main reasons why that game sold well was because of the co-op, because that was the first time I believe Resident Evil was introduced with the co-op gameplay in the story. So I think that was one of the big reasons why I got over the 12 million sales. But the money-driven thing wasn't really RE5 in my humble opinion, of course. It was actually the next installment, which was Resident Evil 6, which is one of, if not the most hated RE game in the franchise, and the early 2010s was a dark era for Capcom in general. RE6 sold well, but Capcom apparently wanted 6 to 7 million copies in the first year of its launch. It hit that goal, but it was only maybe 5 to 6 years later it hit that goal. But I could totally be wrong about that. Correct me in the comment section down below if I am wrong. And in case anyone that hasn't played Resident Evil 6 yet, I would say the best way to describe it is a third-person Call of Duty campaign with fast-paced, and instead of just like regular Spetsnaz bad guys or any bad guy like a main base enemy, it's zombies instead. So basically think about COD Zombies as a campaign mission in third person. It's something very similar like that. But yeah, it's the money as to why Capcom will remake RE4 before Code Veronica, so my apologies to Code Veronica fans. You might just have to wait a little while longer for a remake. That's even if Capcom wants to do it. And trust me, I'm a part of that Code Veronica train as well. But that is the end of today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're close to 400 subs. I would love you guys eternally if we ended up doing that, and I hope we hit 500 subs at least by the end of March, I hope. But yeah, hope you guys have yourselves a good day, good night, and a good sleep. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, and much love.